2015 to order. Roll call, Mr. Otto.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carvel.
Here.
Mr. Deshays.
Here.
Mr. Levere.
Here.
I am here. We have a public hearing scheduled. Let me read it first, and then I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing. So this is to consider adopting a proposed local law to amend the code of the Village of Massena, New York by revising Chapter 290, Water, Section 290.10, Rates and Charges. Users inside the village increase the monthly rate per 1,000 gallons from $3.35 to $3.95 for the first 3,000 gallons, from $2.75 to $3.35 for the next 17,000 gallons, and from $2 to $2.60 for excess of 20,000 gallons. Users outside the village increase the monthly rate for 1,000 gallons from $3.55 to $4.15 for residential, $6.95 to $7.55 for commercial, $6.95 to $7.55 for industrial, and $3.55 to $4.15 for industrial users. Entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Otto?
Second.
Second by Mr. Levere. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is open, ladies and gentlemen, for public comment. We would just ask you to please stand and state your name for the record. Mr. Gregg.
John Gray. During your budget deliberations and subsequently a meeting or two after that, when you were talking about filling a position in water and sewer, it was stated in this room that the water and sewer funds were stable, even though your projected budget for this year and projected budgets for the next year or two belie that fact. However, people were adamant that the funds were stable. Can you just explain what's happened in 6 months to make them unstable?
Tim, I'll take that question.
Sure.
This was the discussion all the discussion at that time frame revolved around the hiring of 2 employees at the sewer treatment plant. The sewer plant the sewer fund has $800,000 in the fund balance. And that's what when Mr. Gray is referring to people, it was the people on this board referring to that fund balance, not the fund balance in the water fund. So even though you need water to get rid of sewer, we weren't talking about that. Even though water is involved with sewer, we were talking about the sewer fund back then, not the water fund.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Gregg.
I just want to add, you might want to check your minutes because it was very specific. Water and sewer funds were stable. There were maybe other people in the room at the time who heard the same thing. That may be what you meant, but what you said were the water fund and the sewer funds were stable.
So did what I just say clear it up for you? Good.
Well, I don't know what's changed. Are you asking me a question? What I'm saying is, if they were stable then, they're not stable
I guess
now.
what I asked you is, did it clear it up for you?
No, not at all, because...
Just what I just said didn't clear it up for you?
No, obviously the sewer fund is stable, but water fund is not.
Maybe you can meet with them offline and discuss it.
Well, again, don't discuss it in public. That would be silly in a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Further public comment. Mr. Gregg.
Joel Grigg, and really I just have a question. I haven't seen or heard it. Could somebody please explain just the logic behind the rate? Okay, why this much, why not? Okay, and so on. So that kind of piggybacks off what Sean was saying. Could you just explain a little bit of the background behind why these rates and why this much?
Okay. Trustee Otto's going to grab his notes and we'll explain it to you.
I don't think, you may not have been at the last meeting, but...
Yeah, I missed that one, so
That's
maybe
okay.
if it's a duplicate, okay?
That's okay. Village of Massena, we've consistently worked to keep our rates low, our water rates low. We haven't had an increase since 2010. Our expenses have started to exceed our revenues, and our fund balance is being depleted to the point where it's not comfortable. Not comfortable in the fact that if we had something happen, we may not be able to take care of the issue. Staffing levels at the water treatment facility are identical to what they were in 2005. We're within 2 years of operating in the red if we keep heading in this direction. The proposal that we're bringing forth is a 60-cent increase across the board. It will, in this, the 60-cent increase will result in a revenue stream of about $300,000 per year. The 60-cent increase across the board isn't going to close the complete gap, but it'll give us a good idea going forward if we may have to address increasing the rates again. We've looked at water rates at different municipalities, both in St. Lawrence County and across the state, and we're not raising them because we're so far behind everybody else, but just to get an idea, we're not higher than anybody else. We're not necessarily lower than anybody else. We're in a good position. In St. Lawrence County, we're in a very good position. So to keep it fair, we made the 60-cent increase across the board, meaning that users in the town districts will be paying, will be assessed the 60-cent increase as well. And it may need, we may have to look at it again in 2 years, like I said, to see if it needs to happen. But it wasn't just a pie in the sky, pull 60 cents out. We worked with I know Lisa's in, oh, she's behind Haas. We worked with Lisa and Haas till you get bigger.
Yeah.
Worked with Haas and Lisa, Matt and I did, to get an idea of what the revenue stream looked like and what different variable increases would do, and 60 cents is what we decided upon.
Okay, so if I hear you, then the 60 cents is just, make sure everything stays in the black for 2 years, may have to look at it after that, but this should solidify, you think it should solidify, keep it in the black for the next 2 years?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
That's the point. Okay?
Further public comment? Seeing no hands, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Otto, second by Mr. Lear. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. Trustees, you have a proposed resolution in front of you.
Excuse me. Make a motion to amend the village code for the water rate increase previously defined by you.
First by Mr. Otto,
Second.
second by Mr. Lear. Discussion.
Yes, okay. Has everything been done to assure that this increase, is necessary? I know with the contract, after a certain date with new employees coming on, there was supposed to be no more scheduled overtime for the weekends. Has that been taken care of now? There's no more scheduled overtime for the weekends?
We do schedule some overtime on the weekends.
Well, I think if we're gonna raise the fees or anything, we should probably follow the contract and not be spending money that we don't have. The contract, we needed a couple people a while ago, and part of that, last year contract, I don't know how long it's been in there, states that after, when new people come on board, that they will be working the weekends with days, basically working the weekends with days off during the week, the same that the DPW does in the winter schedule. I think it's about time we start enforcing that and stop that overtime, because that overtime does probably amount to the neighborhood of $20,000 a year.
The two newest individuals that we have are not certified yet by the state. Once they are certified, then we can include them in that.
I think that's a great area for us to look into to possibly make up the rest. But as Trustee Alfeld mentioned, 60 cents doesn't get us all the way there. And one of the reasons we didn't go for a much larger amount is so we could have room to look to see if there's something to cut, if there's area to save. So to Trustee Carlin's point, maybe that's an area that we make up what we need beyond the 60 cents, but I don't think it negates the need for the 60 cents.
Further discussion. We have a motion on the floor. It's a resolution. I'll poll individually. Mr. Alfeld.
Aye.
Mr. Carlin.
Aye.
Mr. Shays?
Aye.
Mr. Levere?
Aye.
Resolution carries. Entertain a motion for approval of meeting minutes from September 15, 2015.
I've provided you with the balance sheet and budget to actual revenue and expense reports for the month of September. A summary of our 5 major funds is shown in the report. Year-end projection spreadsheets have been completed with actual figures through September 2015 and have been distributed to each of you as well as department managers. Tax collection through the end of our collection period, which was September 30th, brought in $5,601,855.87. This was 92.07% of the total amount that was due. This compares to us bringing in 91.69% at that same point last year. For returning unpaid taxes in the amount of $522,131.40 on 364 parcels to the county treasurer for collection. The amount of interest and fees owed is $37,343.13. Therefore, we will be receiving a payment of $559,474.53 in February. This is down from the amount last year, which was $576,087.67 on 365 parcels. I provided you with the unpaid roll for your review, and the official resolution will be a little bit further down this evening. Received projected bills from the comptroller's office for New York State retirement for the 2016-2017 budget year. This is the payment which would be due in February of 2017. We would pay in December of 2016 in order to save some money. Police and fire retirement system projected bill is $461,392. This is an 8% increase from the amount we budgeted in this fiscal year. Employees retirement system is $460,197, which is a 16% decrease from what we budgeted in this current fiscal year. These numbers are based on rates released last month by the retirement system and on a projection of our salary base for the period April 1st, 2016 to March 31st of 2017. These variables will change before that time rolls around. Last month we made the first lease purchase payment on the new Spartan Fire Pumper truck. This was in the amount of $49,159.82. $37,857.12 was principal, with the remaining amount being interest. The general fund will be reimbursed by the fire equipment capital account. That's what was agreed by the volunteers in the village and by the county budget. This leaves a remaining balance of $389,142.88 due on the truck. We paid semi-annual interest payment on the water treatment plant upgrade bond in the amount of $44,159.38 on October 15th. And the fifth and final payment on the Slavin's demolition statutory installment bond in the amount of $67,892.22 was made today. On October 5th, we received $74,550 in reimbursement for expenses incurred in the 2012 home grant. That was our 7th drawdown improvement. That grant is winding up. It's just about completed. And I continue to work on the GASB 34 statement, which are the entity-wide financial statements for our auditors. They have contacted us and will be here the latter part of November to conduct the audit. And lastly, I have one action item, which is the resolution to return the tax roll to St. Lawrence County.
Entertain a motion on
I'll
the
make it.
resolution.
Yes, so moved.
Mr. Alto. Mr. Carville, discussion. Resolution poll individually. Mr. Arvo.
Aye.
Mr. Alto, I'm sorry. Mr. Carville.
Yes.
Mr.
Mr.
Ward.
Shays. Mr. Lemire.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Thank you. I'd like that final payment in the report. Thank you. Committee reports, code enforcement, Mr. Carville, Mr. Lemire.
We have not met, continue to research. I know Mr. Galvin and yourself have forwarded some things regarding vacant and zombie properties, so continue that research and we'll have to meet soon.
Economic development, Mr. Offal, Mr. Lemire. Fire committee, Mr. Carville, Mr. Lemire.
We met last week, but there's nothing to report at this time.
Personnel committee, Mr. Carville, Mr. Deshays.
Haven't met.
Police committee, Mr. Carville, Mr. Deshays.
It's a little later on, 2 weeks ago.
Recreation commission, Mr. Deshays.
Yeah. The Nerf War games that we were playing down to the arena is well attended. They had over 100 kids playing the last time, and they netted $445, which made it pretty nice. It was a fill-in before the ice arena filled in. And on the 28th of October, Clarkson Hockey's coming to Massena. If you're in. And cooling tower has been installed. You probably read it in the paper and stuff like that. It's installed, it's working, and the ice is in. Hopefully, the cost of $40,000 may be paid by NIPA. We're hoping on that. We knew that was talking about that. Try hockey for free is something new. They're trying to start a program with all kids. All equipment is going to be furnished. You don't have to pay for it. You don't get involved in the big thing. Try it out, see if you like it. If you like it, they can go from there. But they got a van that's going around in different areas, and it's coming to Massena, and all the equipment will be furnished. And the best thing to do is starting on October the 13th, and it's divided up by age group, boys and girls. And the best thing to do to find out what section you can go, call 769-3161, which is the arena. Find out what category. If you want to try out, no expenses for the parents. Hockey, as we know, has really got bloomed sky high. Since my kids played hockey. That's just about all I got for now.
When's your next meeting? Your next meeting?
We're at the
For rec.
next Tuesday.
Is there any, like as far as this cooling tower goes, what about like recovering the steam?
Recovering what?
The steam.
Oh,
I know that I've read that places over in Canada, like, they'll recover the steam, they may, bring it back in and use it as a heat
Oh, yeah?
source.
I don't know.
See, I mean, maybe just bring it up to Mike at the next meeting.
Next meeting, okay.
And,
All right.
I mean, one of those green initiatives, I bet that, I'm wondering if it's something that, wouldn't really cost the rec association or us, rec department or us, much money.
Yeah.
Because people are dying for, at different levels, they really want that to happen. They want you to, take this offshoot that's being used in order to, in the compressors, and if we can use it to heat part of the building,
Yeah.
it's bully for us, I mean, something to think about.
Yeah.
And it's not something that we'd have to do right away, but maybe just put it on.
Something to think about it, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Tim.
Street committee, Mr. Offal, Mr. Lemire.
Matt and I we got the message on, the concerns over by the junior high school on School Street, leading into Nightingale. We're gonna meet, to talk about it tonight. I got jammed up for a meeting, so we're gonna get together and talk about that with the chief as well. Okay.
Water and sewer, Mr. Offal, Mr. Lemire.
Nothing.
Initial public comment period. As always, we would ask you to stand and state your name for the record, please. Initial public comment period. Mr. Flynn.
Barry Flynn. I spoke to the mayor last week about some concerns around the village garbage pickup. I have two concerns. One concern is, as a residential taxpayer, according to code, I have to participate or you shut off my water. But if I'm a commercial, all right, if I'm a taxpayer that owns Tasty Freeze or Stewards or something, not only do I have the option of I can opt out of the village service and have a private contractor, I can do it myself or participate in the village service. And as a residential taxpayer, I think I should have the same options. And my other concern is, we pay our employees a premium wage, benefits and everything else. And I don't believe that this service provides any value to the community. It doesn't enhance the community like fixing the roads, sidewalks and stuff like that. And I think we'd be better served to have our people take care of things that add value to the community and have some of this other stuff be a little more competitive and have other agencies take care of it, or private contractors.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Further public comment? Mr. Graham.
Sean Gray, I just have a couple of quick questions about the tax roll being returned to the county. Number one, is there a breakdown somewhere of how much of it is actually taxes, how much are penalties and interest, and how much are fees such as lawn mowing and water bills and things that have been put on? Is there that information somewhere, or would it have to be taken, extrapolated from this?
We do have that information.
And the second question is, does the county still make the village whole for taxes? In other words, when you return this to them, they will pay you to make you whole,
For unpaid taxes, yes.
not for the fees? I assume penalties and interest on the taxes.
And for anything, refuse, water, or sewer.
So just about everything you're reimbursed for, except maybe the occasional mowing of the lawn or something like that. Are you still allowed to put, if you demo a building, can you put that on, if that goes on the taxes, do they reimburse you for that? No. Okay. Thank you.
Further public comment? Hearing none, moving on. New business, proposed resolution, renewed boiler and machinery insurance policy for $4,720 plus the $1,133 inspection fee. This is annual.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Otto, second by Mr. Shea. Discussion. Resolution, Mr. Otto. Thank you. Mr. Carvel. Mr. DeShays.
Aye.
Mr. Revere. Resolution carries. Appointment Planning Board, Anthony K. Curley. Mr. Revere. Second. Mr. Otto, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Appointment to the Board of Ethics, Douglas C. Fremont.
So moved.
Mr. DeShays, second by Mr. Carvel. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Voucher warrants.
I move that the voucher signed by trustee Carvel and myself be approved.
Second. Mr. DeShays, second by Mr. Carvel. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Monthly reports are on the table. Communications correspondence. I just have a couple. Attended a ceremony today at the St. Lawrence Seaway where the Secretary of Transportation, Anthony Fox, was here along with the Administrator, Betty Sutton, recognizing Seaway employees and first responders, including our police department, fire department, rescue squad, and several of the local responding agencies that responded to the June 15th accident out there for the passenger ship. So it's a nice ceremony, and we appreciate the Secretary himself coming and recognizing our first responders. Update us on the creative playground quickly.
Yes, we're gonna commence our activity there by demoing, starting the we're gonna remove the pea gravel that's there, we're gonna recycle and use it in our project, but the wood, when we start dismantling that, we're gonna take that directly to the transfer station.
Thank you. Any further correspondence, trustees?
Have one communication with a resident. She brought to my attention a program in another municipality regarding voluntary composting and how the government assisted with it. So I'm going to be digging into that a little bit, see if there's anything that might be of interest here. Just wanted to put it on your radar in case
closing public comment period? Seeing none, I will need an executive session for personnel matters. I do not anticipate that we will take action. I entertain a motion for adjournment and enter into executive
So
session.
moved. Second.
Mr. Oppel, Mr. Carvel, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.